Say hi. How do you say hi? See that? That's Pramila. Right there. Say hi. Yay. Yeah, how do you clap? Hey. Welcome to our astrology video today. So yes, today we're going to be doing our video of Sun and Moon mutual aspect. And what happens when Sun and Moon are in mutual aspect. Just like this is the Sun, this is the Moon, right? So yes, I was going to bring your sister too, but she's sleeping. So, but yeah, after a long time, Prami's here. Say hi, Prami. I'm happy to see everyone again. Yeah, she just woke up. So anyway, let's do our video of Sun and Moon mutual aspect and what happens when they are looking at each other in your horoscope. So, Sun and Moon mutual aspect, and we're going to be doing this every week because we just finished our basic planetary aspects and what they mean. So now we're going to do mutual aspects, and I wanted to cover aspects through houses, but the thing is, I'm already covering that through planets through ascendants. It's going to take a long time, but if you want to know ahead of time what each planet does in each house when they aspect, you can actually get my book Aspects of the Speed of Light at this link here, where you will also find my astrological full astrology report, so you know exactly where your planetary placements are, and see if you do have mutual aspects of Sun and Moon through sidereal calculations. Also, along with that, my other books, Astrology and Conjunction at the Speed of Light as well. So, Sun and Moon mutual aspect. Well, what happens is only a few people are born with this type of a mutual aspect. Very few people. Why? Well, in scientific terms, the reason why the fewest people are born under Sun and Moon mutual aspect, because their mutual aspect really lasts for only what? I think 5 minutes, scientifically speaking. Because the exact degree, if your Sun is at 25 degrees Cancer, Moon is at 25 degrees Capricorn, that's only like a 5-minute window where somebody really will be born on full moon. So what I'm trying to say is that nobody really is born on a full moon. Mutual aspect is simply there for quite a bit of time, okay? But the actual real mutual aspect of Sun and Moon, the full moon, that people call, oh, I was born on a full moon. I see so many people tell me, oh, I was born on the full moon. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, no, you're not born on the full moon. You were born like 7 hours before full moon, or 7 hours after full moon, or 18 hours after full moon. You know, so full moon really happens when Sun and Moon are at the exact same degrees. So anyway, this mutual aspect, what does it do? Well, to really understand this mutual aspect, you have to understand which house Sun and Moon are ruling. Because Sun rules the sign of Leo, Moon rules the sign of Cancer. So you want to see where in your horoscope these houses are falling. So if you're an Aries ascendant, then these two planets will rule your 4th and 5th house, which is very good. If you're a Taurus, or let's say you're a Gemini, not even Gemini, I should say Pisces. Let's say if you're a Pisces ascendant, then one is ruling the 5th house, which is a great house. One is ruling the 6th house, which is more of a difficult house. So all of these things will matter, which we'll cover. Don't worry, but I can't fit that in one video, obviously. So basically, Sun represents your ego, self-esteem, confidence, your father and government and authoritative figures in your life. Moon represents your emotions, your mind, your motherly figures in your life. So when these two planets are looking at each other, what is happening is, first of all, you have to understand, in the most basic of terms, Sun is a lot bigger, a lot hotter, okay? Moon is nothing in front of Sun, scientifically speaking. Naturally, we use that in astrology as well. What happens here is that Sun will dominate Moon more, okay? And obviously, Moon is a reflection of the Sun. Because of the Sun's light, Moon is able to be seen by billions of people around the world every night, or certain nights. So what this first of all tells me is that your mother is in a way is a reflection of your father. Mother gets dominated by the father a lot. Also, your mind itself gets affected by father and what father wants you to do in your life. This person's personality, ego, self-esteem, and especially the mind and the mother, their emotions are all being controlled and is a reflection of father. In a good or bad way, I can't really say this. I really have to see what houses these planets are ruling, where these planets are placed. Is this mutual aspect between happening in the 6th and 12th house, 4th and 10th house, 1st and 7th house? All of these things will matter in this particular mutual aspect, because these are two very basic prominent planets in astrology. Like when I do mutual aspect with Mercury and Saturn, it will, without it, even knowing their houses, we have a lot more deeper meaning. But here, what it shows, first of all, is that your mind is full of ideas. You're an extremely creative person. Regardless, even if Moon is in Capricorn, your mind is able to reflect its idea outwards and create the world that you want to create. Because remember, anytime Sun sits with a planet or Sun aspects a planet, it brightens the quality of that planet. Sun and Moon conjunction is actually far different than this, because then there's no Moon. Okay? Your mind is being overshadowed by Sun. But here Sun is looking at your Moon. It is brightening your Moon. It is brightening your thoughts. Your thoughts are very positive, sattvic. Your mind can think clearly. Anytime you are lost in your mind, you will notice you always go to your father for advice and direction, if you have a good relationship with the father. Or if not, then you will try to go to some other authoritative figure in your family, in your friend circle. Also, Moon represents local government, Sun represents the federal government. This mutual aspect shows one is very much interested in changing the perspective and the policies of the government. Mind is always attracted towards how the governments should be changed and how they should be operated. In 4th and 10th house, a person will be very much inclined towards going in government-related affairs, politics, or even law. At the same time, this person can actually become a great and famous actor, performer, because Moon and Sun are two very closest planets in astrology that we can see when they move across the sky. Whether at night we see the Moon or in the daytime we see the Sun. They're the scene. So what are the kind of people that we see out in our lives? Are the celebrities. People who really shine in the public life. Especially when this Moon is situated in the 1st, 7th, 10th axis, like it's in the 1st house, 7th house, 10th house, a person will somehow, some way will find themselves in the limelight. Even if you're, let's say you have a nonprofit organization, you're running a nonprofit organization. Next thing you know, you will have CNN coming to your door asking you, hey, so we see that your nonprofit organization is making a headways into the world. How? Why? What's going on? Tell us more about it. So next thing you know, this person is receiving fame in their life. But mainly, basically what we see, father and mother work very cordially with each other, have a lot of respect for each other. But mother is the one that will always be influenced more with the father. She listens to the father. She takes part in father's advice to you. You know, like your father wants you to become an IAS officer, your mother will also be like, you know what? Yeah, I think he's right. If you do this, you can get all the perks and you'll be able to change all these problems that you think are in our city. I think it'll be a good idea. So it's a very normal, peaceful, kind of a relationship. But the one thing you have to understand is the concept of waxing and waning moon as well. If let's say your sun is at 24 degrees or 25 degrees in Cancer, moon is at 15 degrees of Capricorn, coming directly in front of the moon. This is a waxing moon, okay? But then what happens right after the 25th degree, moons start to wane. It starts to come closer to the sun, which means it's losing its power. This simply means that the emotions and the mind could be affected in a way where you may not feel so balanced. And this doesn't mean that if you're at 25.1 degrees, you will feel this. Usually it happens when moon is literally like 200 degrees away from past the, like, let's say if your moon is in the 10th house, sun is in the 4th house. If moon is moved into the 12th house and 1st house from the sun, that's when it really starts getting affected, because it's going towards being a no moon. Okay? Because the cycle is half finished with sun and moon being mutually aspecting each other, because the full cycle is when moon actually comes to behind the sun. So waxing and waning moon becomes a huge thing, but also the house placements is very important. In 6th and 12th axis of moon and sun can show that the mother struggled a lot in trying to go with the father's scheme. And your father really pushed you very harshly towards doing something that you may not want it to do. 2nd and 8th axis can become, very transformative related to the parents. Parents can either transform you for the better or transform you to the worse. So that's how you have to understand with sun and moon, because there are father and mother. We have to go in a more sensitive realm to see how they're operating, what houses they're ruling, what sign they're placed in. That will show how your mother and father operate to make you. Because here's moon, here's sun, and then on top is you. It's mother and father energy that goes to you. So how are their energy affecting you here becomes a bit of a more sensitive part. I can't just tell you this is a good or bad mutual aspect. This can be a brilliant aspect. This can be the worst aspect. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of sun and moon mutual aspect. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know what kind of mutual aspects you have, all your planetary placements, all my books on astrology, including my consultations, are at this link here. Otherwise, we'll see you, I think, Friday with the sun in the 8th house for Aries ascendant. Bye-bye.